As most of us already agree on, Rykard is in general one of the easier bosses in Elden Ring. Most of his moves can be disrupted with the Serpent Hunter Spear's heavy attack, which makes him insanely easy to kill. But for those people that just want to be able to say they cheesed Rykard, or for those that genuinely have a problem with defeating him, there are a few Rykard cheeses. Most of them were patched. I remember one of them where you stood on one of the bones towards the entrance, and Rykard literally couldn't do anything to you. That one's been patched for a long while though. However, one cheese has stood the test of time, and hasn't been patched ever since it was found. The only problem is, this cheese is actually harder than the boss fight. I already made a video on it. In fact, I think I made two. So I won't be telling you exactly how to do the cheese, since as you can tell, my Rykard is already dead, and this bitch is feasting on his insides. So instead, this is just an update video on his cheese, since I've been hearing people say that it's patched, when unfortunately, it's not. Trust me when I say, I wish this cheese was patched. This one requires so much effort to do, especially in his second phase. It's almost not even worth it. But whatever, there's not much for tips that I can include that I didn't include in the cheese video I made a few months back. But what's important for this cheese is that you have Agile's Flame. Out of all of the named dragon incantations, not only is it the easiest to get, it also costs the least amount of FP and stamina to use. You need to head between the rocks to the west or to your right once you enter the boss room. Now you need enough stamina to use Agile's Flame twice in a row. It costs 60 stamina to use once, and since you need to us it twice, that means you need to have 120 stamina. But you also need enough stamina for the initial brief run and jump, then the second jump, then finally the third jump after you use the incantation for the second time. So on that note, it's best if you have your endurance at 30 to 35. This will give you 130 to 136 stamina. I've personally never been able to get this with endurance less than 30, but I also genuinely suck ass, so you might be able to it with less. Or you can also just use items to boost your stamina. So if you don't want to level your endurance that high, I suggest you go find some of those items, like the Erdtree's Favor, the Viridian Amber Talisman, and the Green Turtle Talisman. Obviously, you can also use Radagon's Saw Seal as well, since that also boosts stamina. And obviously right now my character isn't consuming any stamina, since I'm not fighting. Now as for FP, Agile's Flame requires 36 FP for one cast. Since you need to use it twice, you need a minimum of 72 FP, or about 9 points in the mind stat. What a far cry from the endurance stat. And finally, once you're up above the arena, you need to quickly head over to the rock on your left. Once you're up here, Rykard won't move forward or even attack you anymore. So his first phase will pass by quickly. If he gets pushed back too much while you're up here, then just hop off the back of the rock. Don't move around too much, because the ground doesn't have collision if you move too far back. So you'll just fall through the map. Anyway, if you're off the rock, he'll move forward again, and you just need to keep attacking with the Serpent Hunter Spear. Seems easy enough, right? Well, if you think that, you're a dumbass. Once his first phase ends, he has a cutscene. That in turn drags your ass back to the middle of the arena, which means you'll need to do the jump one more time. So, I recommend summoning the Mimic Tear, or a tanky summon in the second phase, and letting it draw aggro. Then go try and get up the rocks once more. The big problem is the skills that he sends out at the start of his second phase. These last quite a while, and you'll need to dodge them the entire time you're up on the rocks. And when it comes to this, I have no tips. Just try your hardest to dodge around without going too far back. And anyway, there's no more tips or anything else I can explain that I know of. If you have questions, just drop a comment, and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. So yeah, if you watched until this point, then thanks for sticking around. And if you happen to find this video helpful, or if you enjoy SpongeBob, then please consider giving this video a like and subscribing. It would really help out the channel and mean a lot to me. Until next time.